Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Saturday to everyone that is tuning in, that will watch later. Happy Saturday to you all. About Chicago. Before I introduce our guest real quick, I don't know what it is about Chicago. Every single Saturday, it seems like it's been raining for like the past month.
And every single Saturday, I tell you that it is the rain that brings the harvest.
I guess. I mean, but Jesus, can we get a little sunshine? I mean, just, I don't like it. I don't like the rain. I don't like being out in the rain.
Don't complain.
I don't like it whatsoever. So hence my scarf that I have here. I honestly was going to come in all curls and bouncing and everything. Once I saw the weather, I said, oh no, we going to tie this up today. So I look like a Nubian queen, don't I, Mom?
No, actually, that's not what came to my mind. But at any rate.
Whatever. She is such a hater. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Let's Talk Woman to Woman here on intellectualradio.com, which is also an iHeart station. We have a wonderful, wonderful guest today.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I actually was so excited to have her to join us. She has such an amazing program that Chicago needs to know about.
Yes.
And we're going to go into that a little further into the program. But let's talk about what we have going on tomorrow.
Yes. Well, tomorrow we are actual hosts for a entrepreneur networking event.
Yes, we are.
It is called Entrepreneurship Unplugged. It is tomorrow, November 19th, from 3 to 8 p.m. It's going to be at the Atrium, 4151 183rd Street out in Country Club Hills. The tickets are only $10. So you cannot beat that when you're getting a wealth of information. It's going to be a panelists there, men and women, and they're just going to be talking about various topics about entrepreneurship. So this event is for new and seasoned entrepreneurs to come together, network, build new professional relationships, and just get to know people. I mean, it's a lot of wonderful people within the city of Chicago, and we all need to network and work together.
Absolutely.
So, come out tomorrow. We are hosting. I'm excited, and definitely, like I said, go to Eventbrite. The tickets are only $10. You can't beat
And
that.
actually, today is the last day that you can purchase a ticket. So if you are interested in going, do not procrastinate and get your ticket.
Yes.
Because I really think I'm convinced it's going to be an awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Also, next weekend, first of all, happy Thanksgiving. Next weekend is a small business Saturday day party that we're going to be vendors at. So we won't be here next Saturday. So I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. Black Friday, Cyber Mondays. You got a lot of things coming up. You guys save your money because everybody essentials got a good sale. Just letting you know. I'm just playing. But yeah. So next Saturday, November 25th, from 12 to 5, we're going to be vendors at the Small Business Saturday event. It's going to be at 3353 South Morgan in Chicago. So just go to Eventbrite and purchase your tickets for the Small Saturday event. It's going to be something that you guys do not want to miss. So I am really, really excited about that.
So am I.
Absolutely. And then last but not least, we got a lot of things coming up. The Browns Boutique presents a holiday expo and day party, another day party. This event is going to be December 10th, 2017, from 12 to 6 p.m. And it's going to be 20 plus local Black, brown owned businesses, brands, whether it's boutiques, designers, handcrafted goods. So we are going to be one of the vendors there. I'm so excited just to see women come together and just collaborate and make great things happen. This event is free. It's going to be at the 401 North Trumbull in Chicago, and the parking is free. So a lot of places, in Chicago, you got to pay for parking. This parking is free. So you have no excuse not to come out and support us and the other wonderful businesses that will be involved as well. Now, for real, last but not least, the CEO Chicks of Chicago, which is a network that we are a part of, they are having their very last event of the year. It's going to be December 2nd. 2017. It's the Fab and Fierce Rooftop Mixer. The doors open at 6:30 and it starts from 7 to 10. And it's going to be fashion. Going to have a fashion show that I'm hosting that I'm very excited about. Shopping, networking. It's going to be a panel of CEO chicks that are just dominating the entrepreneurship game right now. So it's a lot that is going on. We're going to post all of our events on our website so that way you can stay tuned and meet us there. So that is all of the events that we have.
I have one church announcement.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Just Me Magazine is giving away 2 tickets to LXW Chicago Choir Concert with a special guest, Fred Hammond. On December the 9th at 7 p.m. If you are interested, please go to justmemagazine.com to enter the contest.
Absolutely. So I want to bring in our special guest because we have, we always got to talk about our hot topics, and I would like her to join in. So thank you so much, Mrs. Dr. Wrenetha Julian. Wrenetha.
Okay.
I had it right.
Julian.
Thank you so much for being here on our show. You have an extensive resume and just that look up to you, just reading your bio and everything.
We Googled you.
Things that you're involved in.
Yeah.
And this is a powerful woman sitting next to us. Yes. So I am just so excited to just go into everything that you have going on. But first and foremost, just thank you so much for coming on our show and being here with us today.
Especially in this weather today.
Especially this opportunity to be here today, because I love to share the work that I do and working with fathers, which is really important to me.
Oh, it is, you know. I mean, when I began to really read about the program, I was amazed. I was amazed.
Absolutely. So while the people that's tuning in, I just want you to invite people to join our live, whether it's Instagram, Facebook. Please share and let people watch this wonderful show that we have going on here. Also, be sure to go to our website, elegantbehavior.com, to subscribe to our mailing list. So that way you can get first dibs on our wonderful holiday sales that we have coming up in the next week or so. So just wanted to put that out there. So this fall and winter season, red is first of all, red is a hot color anytime, but red is a really nice hot color this season. When you pair it with other shades of red, you are sure to have an eye-catching look. So now the trend is to pair reds with other reds. It does not have to be the exact matching red, just other shades of red to, for the whole look. Whether you have a nice red coat, then you have like a patent leather red boot with maybe a nice really dark red trousers. It really looks nice together. So that is the big trend this season. Wearing red does more than just grab attention. It does much deeper than that. Red is a popular color that has ongoing studies in psychology. Women tend to wear red, obviously, when they want to be bold and make a statement. But many women wear red subconsciously and consciously when they know they are going to be around a male they are trying to attract.
I don't know if I believe that.
It's believed that red is the most passionate color on a spectrum, and the color that is associated with love, seduction, sexuality, and also often associated with anger and aggression, which a lot of times people say that you should not wear red, like if you're going to an interview, because sometimes it can kind of turn people off. Oh, really? But on the other hand, if it's a male that's interviewing you, you might attract them just based off the color. I don't know. But me personally, if I'm going for an interview, I don't want you to hire me because of what I have on. That's just me personally. But I guess to each his own. To each his own. So when wearing red as a centerpiece color, I feel it's best to keep the rest of the pieces and accessories with the neutral tones. So as an example, unless you're wearing the red as your whole entire ensemble, make that just like that pop of color, and then you can wear all black, maybe all nude or whatever. So like today, besides my beautiful Nubian head wrap, I have on all black, but I have a pop of color with my red lip.
Girl, you are really feeling yourself with that.
There's nothing wrong with feeling yourself.
I don't know where that comes from.
So when you are wearing red and it's just a pop of color, wear all black or all nude or just different colors that would complement the red, or that the red will complement those neutral colors. So what do you guys feel about the color red?
Well, you know, red used to be my favorite color.
And then she stole my color, and now she likes pink.
Oh, good night, Irene.
What do you feel?
Which is my favorite color.
You like red? Or you like pink? See, we are pink girls.
I think pink is so girly.
I love pink.
Pink is girly.
What kind of shade of pink do you like? Is it a different? Does it matter? Is it a specific kind of color that you like?
I can do bright pink. I can do pale pink.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
You know what? I think I like all pinks. But I really like the softer, neutral kind of pinks, like the pale pink, or I like to say blush pink. I like those colors, but pink is my favorite color. And I'm starting to like black and like neutral, like nude or like a tan or beige color.
I like chocolate.
Beige is my favorite color
brown
now.
Is pretty. I like that.
Yeah, so that is the new thing now with red. Do not be afraid to layer your reds. They do not have to be the exact type of red. And don't think you're being too matchy or tacky. You are in trend, girl. So when next time you go to H&M or even just in your closet, try to layer your reds and see how you like it.
All right. We want to say congratulations to Tiffany Haddish.
Congratulations, girl.
She was one of the co-stars of the Girls Trip, and she recently hosted Saturday Night Live. And actually, tonight, Chance the Rapper is going to host Saturday Night Live. So represent Chi-Town. Hallelujah. That's wonderful.
You know what? I have nothing negative to say about him or even Tiffany.
No.
I admire her. I know she's done a few stand-up shows prior to the Girl Trips movie. Did you see Girls Trip?
Absolutely.
Was that hilarious? That was hilarious.
It was hilarious, and she's just like genuinely funny, no matter what platform she's been on.
Well, I think the best part to me is when she thanked all of those that paid taxes because she was a ward of the state.
Yes, she's really
real.
Funny.
I really
and
like
what
her.
I like about her is that she takes her struggles and her past and she uses as material to
absolutely
to make people laugh.
I think so.
And she is just funny and she's real. She'll tell you I'm not as rich as certain other people. That she made a joke about that she spent $4,000 on this dress that she had on Saturday Night Live, and she said, "Y'all gonna see me in this dress 50 million times again." She said, "I'm gonna get every dollar worth out this dress."
And I also want to say congratulations to the South Shore Current magazine as they celebrate their 3rd year in publishing. They are offering tours, which is going to be located at 7141 South Jeffrey in Chicago on tomorrow, November the 19th from 3 to 6. Congratulations on your 3rd year of publishing.
All right, now, just a bit of sad news. Reverend Jesse Jackson, he reveals that he has been recently diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. Reverend Jesse Jackson announced that he has Parkinson's disease in a statement posted on Twitter, on his Twitter account. The 76-year-old civil rights leader said that the diagnosis came after he found it increasingly difficult to perform routine tasks. My family and I began to notice changes about 3 years ago, he wrote. After a battery of tests, my physicians identified the issue as Parkinson's disease, a disease that bested my father. But Jackson said he won't let the neurological disorder stop him from doing any of his life's work. He said, "For me, a Parkinson's diagnosis is not a stop sign, but a rather signal that I must make life changes and dedicate my life to physical therapy in hopes of slowing down the disease's progression. This diagnosis is a personal, but it is more than that," he said. "It is an opportunity for me to use my voice to help in finding a cure for the disease that afflicts 7 to 10 million worldwide." That I did not know, that it affected that many people. The Reverend was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by President Bill Clinton, and he has marched, as we all know, with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. during the Civil Rights Movement, and he says that this diagnosis will give him new opportunities to serve and give back. And so I think that is awesome. Yet again, you're using your things that you're going through and helping other people. Because disease is hard to deal with mentally. And I think, it's just awesome, and I commend him for using that to give back to others and try to find a cure for it. So go ahead, Reverend Jesse Jackson.
I have a story for you, Brittany.
What?
A Connecticut man who was homeless for more than a year found an envelope with $10,000 check inside.
Really?
Yeah. Instead of keeping the check, he made it his mission to return it to the rightful owner. So he and his friend, they did a Google search and they found this woman, and she actually is the owner of Outreach Reality Services. And they returned the check, and she gave him a hefty reward in return. What would you have done?
Honestly, and we just gonna be honestly speaking now. I don't know if I'm homeless, I don't know if I would be so willing to give a $10,000 check back. But I mean, if it's a check, you can't do nothing with it anyway,
Exactly.
right? So I mean, in a sense, I guess you could just give it back. But my initial thought, I would be like, oh my God, I'm rich. But I mean,
terrible.
I'm being honest. I'm just being honest. So I commend him. But there again, it's a check, so you can't really do much with it. So in that vein, I would have returned it.
I would have returned it immediately.
Stop. What have you would have done?
Dr. Julian.
I have to think about that for a minute. Seeing $10,000 in your face with living on the street, it's a struggle.
Exactly.
It's a struggle.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that he went through turmoil to reach the decision that he did.
Yeah. He probably thought about it for a couple of days. You just never know.
Right.
I mean, he probably prayed on it. Maybe who's to say? You just never know. But that is very big of him. Did it say in detail of what kind of gift he had in return?
No, they did not. They just said hefty. So
well,
whatever it was, if he's homeless, then hopefully it would change his living situation.
That I was just going to say that hopefully that, whatever they gave back, hopefully it would make up for him giving back that $10,000. Because if I give you a $10,000 check, there's no way that I should go back living back on the street.
Right.
I'm just saying that's not right.
Give me $500. Nah.
Then $500 ain't gonna do nothing. I mean, I'm just saying, if you have a $10,000 check, no matter where it came from, and if I'm giving it back to you out of the kindness of my heart, I truly believe that you kind of obligated in a sense. That I feel like so. I think that you should make sure that his circumstances can change in a way.
Yes, I would hope that he would have opportunities,
receive something.
Exactly.
That's just only the right thing.
Exactly.
Honesty.
Exactly. I mean, they say honesty goes a long way, so hopefully it did for him. So I thought this was funny, so I had to mention it. I thought it was funny. So a Navy pilot draws male genitalia in the sky over Washington.
I saw that on
Did
Twitter.
You hear that?
Yes, I saw that.
I was just like, oh my God. I mean, in a sense, it's funny, but it's funny.
How creative.
Okay, in a sense, it's funny because of who's in office. But that may not be fair to say, but I mean, it just goes to show you that a lot of people are just not for his administration, to me. I mean, but here's the story. The U.S. Navy had almost everyone in the county in Washington state glued to the sky after one of their pilots took his artistic skills to the next level. According to The Hill, one of the pilots used his aircraft and drew a male's genitalia in the sky. Many were quick to snap the cloudy genitalia before it disappeared, but the Navy isn't taking this too lightly, of course. The Navy holds its air crew to the highest standards, and we find this absolutely unacceptable, of zero training value, and we are holding the crew accountable, the official said in a statement. So something tell me that the pilot won't be doing this again. But I mean,
one time should be enough.
Yeah.
He made his point.
I mean, it
went viral. He made his point.
It was entertaining. I mean, it was just like, wow. I mean, could you imagine you looking in the sky?
Like, what
is that?
Is that what I think?
Okay. And I mean, he had it right on in regards to how to.
I think that's very creative.
Because
I think there's a lot of skill as a pilot to be able to do that.
I think it's
all
creative.
those loops and
I think it's creative and very skillful, and I think he should be applauded for that.
Well, the media is definitely applauding him, but the Navy not so much.
Apparently, so are we.
Not so much. Okay, now this kind of takes me off. I'm not gonna lie about this. A Georgia networking event aims to help white people meet a Black person.
To do what?
I'm looking at her face. She's like, now what? There's a Georgia networking event that's helping white people meet Black people. And it's fittingly titled Come meet a Black person.
Wait. That's
the title. So if you search it on Eventbrite, come meet a Black person.
So what are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm getting ready to go meet another Black person. According to CNN, it's reportedly a real attempt to bridge the racial divide in America and white people who don't have any non-white friends to attend the show. The event. The event will be hosted by Urban Media Makers, which is a group of independent Black filmmakers and content creators. So the people who are creating this event, they are Black. It's not like these are white people saying, okay,
they're Black.
Yeah, these are Black people. It's not like, the white people coming out with the handbook of how to meet Black people. These are fellow Black people. In the Black community, we know of white people who don't have a lot of Black friends, founder Cheryl Moses said, but still seeing a statistic about it just opened our eyes. According to the event's Facebook page, they are hoping to do something to positively challenge the negativity. The idea of Come Meet a Black Person networking event came about when we recently found out that 75% of white people in the United States do not have non-white friends, which is not surprising. To me, it's just not. Sorry. According to the New York Magazine, white people continue to deploy the phrase, I have a ton of Black friends, to justify casual racism, but it's not actually true for 3/4 of white Americans. Now, how I feel about this, I feel that they did a great job with catching people's attention with the name Come Meet a Black Person.
Yeah.
I think you and I are thinking along the same lines, that I would have liked to see a different name for this event.
Exactly. I think that, they did a good job with catching the attention, but I don't think that they thought it through of how it would make fellow African Americans feel, because we're not an animal for show, or we're not, something.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? We're human beings just
all.
like anyone else. And so there's no networking event of how to meet a Mexican, or how to meet a white person, or a Jew, or homosexual. I just think that that's just it.
I'm not feeling that.
I just don't understand it. I don't think it's funny. I just feel like that it's okay for them to be racist in a way. I kind of feel like it's giving them the permission to kind of be racist in a way. I just don't understand. So what would take place at this event?
Yeah.
Is it like a slideshow that would pop up and say, well, this is how you approach it just doesn't make sense to me.
Right.
We are all living and coexisting together.
Or, I'm not feeling it.
We're all coexisting together on this earth, and walks of life from all over the world and in this country. Why should it be a networking event of how to meet somebody?
Yeah,
that just makes no sense to me. I could see if it was a dating type of situation where, how to meet a man or whatever, but that's different versus how to meet a Black person.
Yeah,
we're like a different type of species. We're all human people. We were all people. I just didn't like that, and I was very surprised to see that it was Black.
Yeah, that is surprising, because I would not have thought that they were Black at all.
No, they were white. It would have been a serious problem. But I just think that there again, I think that they wanted to catch people's attention, and they did a good job at that. But they could have picked their words differently. I definitely agree with you, Doctor.
Every week here on Let's Talk Woman to Woman, we acknowledge what we call a Woman of the Week. And this woman does not have to be a celebrity or anything of that nature, just doing some wonderful things within our world or our community. So this week, we have nominated, and I'm going to have to just call her Dr. Gloria. She is the first, because she's from Ghana, and I cannot pronounce her last name, and I don't want to mispronounce it. She is the youngest to receive a PhD UX researcher degree. And she's from Ghana. She's 27 years old. This young lady, I really want you guys to Google her, because she has an amazing story. She comes from an amazing background. Both of her parents were very serious about education, and they instilled that in her. And she relocated to the United States after completing studies at the University of Maryland. And so she says that she's involved in a number of empowerment programs and initiatives to help alleviate poverty and promote gender equality. That I have experienced a lot of rejection and self-doubt, and her advice to others is to be excellent in everything that you do. So Dr. Gloria, you are our Woman of the Week, and congratulations on all of your success.
Absolutely. You know, I am all for women empowerment, uplifting the next
Young lady
woman,
too.
no matter what race or religion or anything that you come from. But anytime that you're doing good, and then you're giving back to the community, or, you know, you're just doing great things, just, you know, not negative, anything, you know, I just commend people like that.
And you know what? And I want to add on to that. If you know of someone that is worthy to be nominated for our Woman of the Week, please send us an email, because we would be more than welcome to receive suggestions and to nominate your choice.
Yeah, so email us at info@elegantbehavior.com. Again, info@elegantbehavior.com if you're wanting to submit someone who you think is worthy of Woman of the Week. Speaking of women and just women empowerment, and before we get into our special guest, I feel like that's just our theme for today is women empowerment and just wonderful women doing great things. We, on our way into the studio today, the show, you know, right before us, they had guests that were there, and one of them, Corinne Davis, we used to work together a few years back, and so I was so surprised to see her, but I'm so proud of her because now she is running for state representative in the 29th district. So Corinne Davis is a human resources professional and community leader running for state representative to bring real leadership to the 29th district and a fresh perspective to Illinois politics. So she's always been a wonderful person that I've always looked at, but the fact that she is running for state representative, I am so proud of her. And the other women that were here as well
was Donna Miller,
running for Cook County Commissioner,
the 6th district.
In the 6th district, and as well as Shantae Rice, she's running for judge of 2018. So these are wonderful women, you know, Black women that are in office, that are in politics. You know, I feel like you're seeing more and more women, whether they're Latino, white, African American, anything. You're seeing more and more women getting out there, which used to be like a male-dominated, you know, business or career. I think that is just awesome, and I am so proud of you ladies. I was just so inspired just by walking in to see these business professional women, and you know, despite all the negativity that we have in the media. And so yes, I just want to mention them. So please, when that time comes, go vote for these ladies. We will definitely be voting for them as well. So yes.
Earl is over here being funny. So without further ado, we have to bring in our special guest, Dr. Wrenetha. I apologize, Julian. She is a professor and chairperson of the Women, Children, Family Nursing Department at Rush University College Nursing. For over 30 years, we did our homework. For over 30 years, Dr. Julian's work has focused clinically on the care of women, children, and families before transitioning into nursing education and research. She is co-author of the Chicago Parent Program, a nationally recognized parent training program for at-risk families living in low-income ethnic minority communities. Dr. Julian has funding from the National Institute of Health to test the Building Bridges to Fatherhood program, which is the program we're going to talk about today. The program is a 10-week program.
Yes, 10 sessions.
10 sessions based and designed for fathers to promote the positive and ongoing involvement of African American fathers in the lives of their young children when their children live in separate households. Thank you, Dr. Julian, for being our guest today, and let's just jump right into it.
Thank you so much for having me today. I really appreciate being able to talk about my work.
Absolutely.
And I love it. I just want to say, first of all, how did you, you have an extensive resume like we said before, but where did the passion come from about the whole fatherhood thing? Where did that passion come from?
So I started being engaged with families throughout my nursing career, and in the maternal in some ways it bothers me that it's called maternal child arena, but even so, women, children, and families. So I've always worked with that group as a nurse. And as I worked my way through my career, I got involved with parent training and was recruited to Rush to work with a parent training program, which is how we developed the Chicago Parent Program. Wow. So I worked with a researcher, Dr. Debbie Gross, who's now at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore. And we developed the Chicago Parent Program. And along the way, I was also a student in the PhD program at Rush. And as I tried to figure out my unique contribution to science, I started working with a community-based program evaluation of fatherhood programs. And that was the light bulb moment for me when I knew that the group that I wanted to concentrate my research on is African American fathers who don't live with their children.
Okay, so now tell us about the Building Bridges to Fatherhood program.
So Building Bridges to Fatherhood is a program that was developed through funding from NIH. And the sole purpose of that first to develop the program. So I pulled together a group of non-resident fathers who served as my advisory council. And what they did was really help to design this program from start to finish. From the very beginning, the program is set up to be run with a group of fathers, and we show video scenes of fathers interacting with their children, with the mothers of their children, and we use those video scenes to jumpstart the discussion. The group is run by 2 African American male group leaders, and so they'll show a scene, and they'll stop the scene and say to the fathers in the group, "What did you see happen in this scene? What went well? What would you like to see happen differently? Has anything like this ever happened to you?" So rather than being a model where someone is lecturing or just talking at fathers, it's a really engaging,
very interactive
process where men bounce ideas off of each other. They bounce experiences off of each other, and they learn from each other. And so, advisory group, we developed a program which we are now testing in Chicago communities, and we are alternating south sides and west sides of the city.
Wow. You know what? For someone as a child that I didn't have a father in the home, I appreciate you and everyone who's involved in this, because a lot of people do not realize the impact on families and children and wives and mothers of how the absentee of the father not being in the house. No one realize. I'm not going to say no one. Obviously they do, but a lot of people do not realize of how much of an impact that has. And and no matter how far you grow or how far you can be successful, that still has an impact to this day for a lot of people. And I just commend you for even being involved and taking on that issue and wanting to do something about it.
Thank you. And I think the first unit of the program really also speaks to why this work is important to men, because it focuses on important. And there's been so much in the media and so much negativity focused around fathers, particularly when they don't live in the household. Why are they there? And so what if they're not there? And sometimes I think the bombardment and the constant messaging that fathers don't matter sometimes sinks into fathers, and they say, my child my child is doing fine without me. His mom is holding it down, and so it's okay if I'm not there. And so we really focused the first 3 sessions of the program on why fathers are important and the value to their children, and what children learn from fathers that's different and complementary to what children learn from mothers. So that's a big portion of the program.
And the young men have completed the program. What happens after that? Is there some sort of follow-up, or what happens?
So currently we're testing the program. So we are testing it against another intervention, which is a financial literacy program. And so we are conducting surveys. So we're collecting data from the fathers before they start, after the program ends, and then 6 weeks later. Outcomes in terms of how the father is doing and how the children are doing and how the family is doing.
Wow.
So that's sort of the short term of this, is to really confirm that the program is effective in making a difference in the lives of fathers and families.
Well, I'm sure it is. And I don't think any study has to, but I mean, I think any effort that you're putting in to assist in making that better, I think that is definitely making an impact in making things better.
So how can someone participate in the program?
Running a group on the South Side, and we are actively recruiting for groups on the West Side. And so the next group will start in January, mid-January of 2018, and we will continue recruiting fathers until late December.
Wow.
So, and I'm sitting here now blanking on my number that someone can call into our study line and actually be connected with the member of our research team. So I'm blanking on my number. I get 312563, but I cannot remember the last four digits.
Well, that's okay. Give your email. How can someone reach you via email?
Yes, someone can reach our study via my email, which is a little complicated for Russia's email system, but it's my entire first name spelled Netha _ the letter A _ JULION @rush.edu. The other thing that they could do is go on to Rush's website and search for the Dad Study. And they can find a link there that will give them the number to call us and a QR code for them to link to scan with their smartphone so they can get directly to our study interest form.
Wow. Is there a number that you're capping off at in terms of the participants?
As many as we can get.
Oh, that's awesome.
I love that.
That's awesome.
As many as we can get.
How else are you going about getting the word of the program out?
I think you met my project director.
I did.
Which is how we first got connected, who is an amazing person, Dr. Janae Sumo.
Yes, we met her at another event that we were at.
She came up to us.
Yes, she is in the community. She is everywhere. She and her recruitment team, we have a recruitment coordinator and we have several research assistants that are out at community events, community gatherings, churches, daycare centers, community organizations, everywhere that families are.
Wow, this
is where our team is. Because if we don't run into someone who immediately qualifies for the study, then they probably know someone who does. And basically, to qualify for the study, you need to be an African American father over the age of 18 with a child between the ages of 2 and 6.
Okay.
Now, just curious, is there a reason? I'm sure it is, but what reason that you picked that actual age 2 and 6 for the children?
I picked 2 and 6 because it's such a vital age for child development. And as you mentioned earlier, with the long-lasting impact of fathers not being in the lives of children, if we can correct that early, then fathers and children are more likely to stay connected for a lifetime.
I love that. You know what? Just last night on Facebook, I ran across a girl's page, and she has difficulties with the father of her child that she makes known to Facebook all the time. And she's one of those people that she's deliberately, excluding the father from the child's life due to him being with other women or various reasons. But I mean, a lot of times statistics or, people will think that the father just does not want to be in the child's life. But there are a lot of times that you have mothers and other people that just, exclude them and remove them from the child's life. And I'm sure that, you guys run into that as well.
You could be a great spokesperson for our study. Absolutely. We see that even where fathers are unable to provide financially for the child, then mothers sometimes say, you can't pay, you can't play, you know, and I think that a lot of times as well, there's a lot of pain involved. If the relationship ended and the mother didn't want it to end, or the relationship ended because of father's indiscretions or any of those things, you have some anger in there.
Well, you know, Brittany, as a single parent, it was more important to me that her father would have been in her life. It did not matter if he did not support her financially, because I was blessed to make enough money to be that support. I just wanted him to be a part of her life. But it was also important to me to instill in her worth. I did not want her to seek attention and praise from something or someone because of the absenteeism of her dad. And so I would always instill in Brittany, you know, you are smart, you are enough, you can do anything that you want to do. And unfortunately, and I'm not just patting myself on the back, but unfortunately, in the child's life, they're not getting that from the mother. And you, like you were saying, they're focusing more on the negative about, and it's not about the relationship between the man and the woman, it's about the child. And people sometimes have a tendency to forget that. That's really what's most important.
And sometimes I think the pain gets in the way.
Yeah.
That, you know, that sometimes the breakup or the challenge is so recent that it's difficult for the mother to put that aside and really think about that, you know, what is the greatest benefit that I'm trying to get for my child. And then sometimes as well, because you have mothers who have grown up in households without their dads, and they've done well, and they've prospered. And then they in turn think, well, I can do the same thing. My child doesn't need to grow up with their dad. And what we're trying to go for is not an either or situation, but a both situation.
And, you know, I was blessed to have grown up in the house with my father. And that's why it was important to me that she had a relationship with her father. However, I knew what she was possibly missing as a result of that. And that was my most and only driving force. It wasn't about our relationship. I just wanted her to be a part of his life and him to be a part of hers, but he chose not to. So
you sound like one of the scenes in the program. It is such an amazing scene where there is a mother who's talking about not wanting her child to grow up looking for what she didn't have with her own father. And she wanted her child to grow up whole, so to speak, so that she had a good example of what a good man.
Absolutely.
So that the woman, you know, grows up and looks for someone who is going to be a positive force, that they can work together and not really settle for what's not an optimal relationship.
And it is difficult. Lives. It is very difficult to look at the most important part, even if you're hurt, because we were divorcing and, you know, I was going through my own challenges myself. I wanted her to be a part of his life. And, you know, it just didn't happen, but I did not want her to suffer as a result of that.
Yeah, you know, like you said, what people need to realize is that once this child comes into the world, that is the main goal. That is the most important thing. Whether if you guys work out, great. If you don't, then that's unfortunate. But the child is what's to be the most important thing out of this whole entire situation. And a lot of people lose sight of that. We are just wrapping up. We're coming to a close, but I just want you to give, because you, first of all, I told my mom this. I said, anyone who says that school is just too hard or they're just going through and then, you know, they just can't do it. I mean, granted, school is not for everyone, but this woman is a clear example that you have no excuse. She has I said, she got half the alphabet.
I told Brittany, I said she has more initials behind her name.
Okay, I mean, no, seriously. So, I mean, it's really an inspiration to see, not, I don't want this to be just a Black thing. It's really an inspiration to see women having so much knowledge and education. And it's like, you could take all the makeup, you could take the lashes, God forbid my scarf, you could take all that, but you cannot take away someone's education and their knowledge. And that is very powerful. And the fact that you're using that to give back is just awesome. And so what I would like,
and to be at Rush.
Yes.
Now, if you're not from Chicago, you may not. Rush Hospital is it one of the highest ranking?
It is, and our nursing program is among the highest in terms of ranking of colleges of nursing.
Wow. See,
so I'm proud to be.
Okay. So she
we have to give it to us. A Rush is not a slouch.
Exactly. It's not just your corner.
Don't call it out. Okay.
But what I want you to do, just real quick, is if any type of words of wisdom that you can give to anybody who's looking, whether they're a father and they're going through the situation, or they're a mother that's going through the situation, what words of wisdom can you give to that person?
So I have several words of wisdom, and I'm going to try and keep them short. One is regard to health professionals, nursing, and the importance of diversity in the nursing profession, from the bedside all the way through to education and through research. It's important that Black and brown women are in the room, that are in the profession, are at the bedside, are leading the care, are taking charge of what's going on with health and healthcare. So that's one of my other passions that I think is really important, and I want to highlight. And the other part is that really about the importance of family, and that family is diverse, family is dynamic. Family includes mothers, fathers, children, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins. And so the diversity of family is really important. The family has an important role to play in raising healthy and whole and vibrant and wonderful children. So everybody needs to stay in the picture. Fathers are really valuable. Children learn different things from fathers than they do from mothers.
They do.
It supports their education. It supports their growth. It supports their emotional development. So I just think that the more we can do to support families, and every member of the family is going to ultimately help our children to grow.
Dr. Julian, we will definitely have you on again. Because this is something that is so important, and we definitely would like for you to come back and talk about this again, as well as we're going to continue to share this information. We will share it on our social media. You can go to intellectualradio.com and view the show, but we will definitely share your information, because the more the merrier that can participate. This is an awesome program.
And you know what? Any time of the year is good for this, but I think what appropriate, right before the holidays, families should be together. And so I thought this was very appropriate for you to be on right before, the holidays are really in full swing. And, I just thank you. I can't thank you enough for doing what you're doing. We need more people like you.
Absolutely.
I thank you, ladies, for doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
The word that you're getting out about women and people of color, I think is fabulous. And so I thank you, and I'm so honored to be here, and I'm happy to come back.
Oh, you will definitely come back.
Yes.
And you said now the program will start in January?
Yes, our next groups will start mid-January. And so you can reach out through my email or through Russia's website and find the DAD Study, which stands for Dedicated African American Dad Study.
Love it.
And you can find out how to reach us. And I'm so ashamed of myself for not having that number in my head.
You are fine.
So please find us and search us out. And the more fathers we can get enrolled in the program, the better.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk Woman to Woman. This was an awesome show. I hope you guys were inspired. Powerful women in this room today. And, I just can't get enough of it. So thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, please share, tell somebody to watch this show. It could touch somebody, it could help someone. So follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. Not Snapchat. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. Subscribe to our mailing list, elegantbehavior.com. And you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to everyone.
Happy Thanksgiving. Bye.